In this episode of Negative Modifier, we'll be playing the game Delta Green. Delta Green, by design, tackles various mature themes that may be uncomfortable or triggering for listeners. Listener discretion is advised. If the last room was kind of a horror show, this is a room of waking nightmares. The room is a mix of kind of mental hospital equipment, corner equipment, scientific experiments out of the 1960s scientific sci-fi movies, and some kind of semi-cutting edge stuff. In the corners, you kind of see some Tesla coils sparking. You see a variety of outdated machines that hum and click throughout the room. You also see some stuff that, despite being kind of this big, bulky, old-school metal design, seems too new to be from that era. But more importantly, the room, beyond kind of various mechanical sounds in the background, is silent, except for kind of the slow whirring of air and the occasional beep of a heart rate monitor.
A heart rate monitor.
Yep.
All right, so search check to figure out whose heart rate monitor is.
Yeah, give me a search check.
All right.
Fumbled.
All right, so let's play this one up before we kind of get into that. So,
Jumper and I both critically. We had 2 fumbles and 2 crits.
All right, so
2 critical successes. I mean, 2 critical successes, 2 fumbles.
Maybe it's the smell of the room. Maybe it's whatever. But yeah, Agent Jetlag and Agent Jackal, you kind of like, maybe it's some fumes off something, maybe whatever. You kind of stumble into something, and as you're looking around the room, you see that there are 2 corner tables, what can be best described as a grow tank, a head in a jar, and kind of the other mechanical equipment. Now, unfortunately, you both kind of absent-mindedly put your hands down on the grow table, and your hand just kind of sinks into the dirt, but it's not dirt. It is a human body. Both of you give me a sand check.
21 out of 78 success.
All right, you both only take 1 point of sand damage, and it is at this horrifying moment you realize the body you both have just kind of actually put your hands into and kind of pushed through the skin ever so slightly, it's breathing. And looking at it, it's just covered in mushrooms. There's mushrooms growing out of all of its it's coming out of its skin, coming out of cuts in it, kind of thing, coming out of its nose. One of its eyes is a mushroom growing out of it. But ever so faintly, this body is slowly breathing, and there's a heart rate monitor next to it that's slowly detecting life.
I think this guy's still alive, guys.
I think I might throw up.
Give me a con check on that one.
16 success. Oh, God.
You do not throw up. All right. So, more importantly, kind of beyond this table of horrors, Agent Jetlag. No, it's not Agent Jetlag. Agent Jotun. Kind of off in one corner, you find kind of a big, old-school tank. And inside of it, there's a body, I guess, is the way of thinking of it. It's weird, though. Like, it's got the proportions of, like, a baby, but it's got, like, one full-sized adult arm on it, kind of thing. And it's got a baby leg, but then, like, a full-size human foot. And it's kind of floating inside of this. And the machine has a variety of readouts coming out of it. And the thing inside of it's either not awake or not alive, but it is bubbling.
When you say bubbling, the water is bubbling?
The water's bubbling, yeah.
Like, not like it's boiling, it's just like air's running through it.
Yep.
So it's a baby with a full-grown person's arm and a full-grown person's foot.
Yeah. No surgery marks on it. Like, it's almost like this has been grown out of it, or this is how its body is choosing to grow for some reason.
Hey, guys. We got
what did you find?
Some sort of child with a couple of mature appendages. I'm not sure what to make of it.
All right, so from the opposite end of the room, Agent Jumper, you find the head in the jar I mentioned. It's not clear if it's male or female, or if it's even like truly human. It's not kind of like an ape-like quality on it, but like a very human ape, I guess. And it's hooked up to a small printer that's kind of slowly but steadily printing out a kind of a readout that makes no sense to you whatsoever, but kind of every couple seconds, an old school kind of printer kind of slowly feeds some more paper into itself, and kind of this weird squiggly readout comes out of it, kind of one of those old school like paper calculator kind of things. It's doing it constantly, and it's kind of there, being creepy.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. And it's like it's monitoring something about this little, like, I don't know what you would call it, the next link ape thing.
Do either of you want to search the readouts you're seeing on the two machines you've encountered?
Yes.
Sure.
We'll go with Jotun first.
65 out of 74 success.
Yeah, so kind of, you're no medical expert really, but kind of looking at the machine, looking at the readouts hooked up to the machine, it just says subject alive and developing correctly.
Is there anything I can do with chemistry?
You'd have to probably open it up to do that, but
Okay, never mind.
if you had biology, you maybe could do something with it, but...
Here's my search for the readouts.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a failure of 50 out of 41.
Yeah, whatever this readout is, it's not in a known language you know about, but something looking at it, like, it feels like you could almost read this kind of thing without knowing what it actually says. Yeah, no. But yeah, you are, as best you can tell, aside from the kind of weird experiments and mushroom guy, you're alone in this room.
Any other doors?
There's one on the opposite side of the room where you came in from.
Stuff just keeps going, doesn't it?
Well, do we destroy anything in here?
I don't know if it's going to be as easy as the incinerator cells.
I think this is experiment.
Are there any flammable reagents, ethanol, methanol, etc.?
That sounds like a search.
38 out of 50 success.
Oh yeah, there's a variety of tanks of kind of gases you could use to rig up an explosive, given a little bit of time and kind of setting it up to blow. Probably not something you can safely do while in this kind of small complex, though. It's enough juice that you'd like to blow this room would require enough that you probably wouldn't want to be down here with it.
Think
You
you
got
could
the
rig,
materials for it.
think you could rig something to detonate jet lag?
I think that is outside of my normal skill set, but it does seem like the reagents are here.
I'd say either a chemistry or explosives will probably get what you need from this. It's not hard. Building faulty bombs is pretty easy in the grand scheme of things.
I rolled I failed at demolition, 64 out of 40.
Oh. Yeah, it's high enough you could probably whip something together, but it will take some time, and you don't feel you could make something that could safely be used with you down here. Definitely, like it's based on the shape of the space, or it's going to kind of make a tunnel effect where it's going to burn everything at a minimum, kind of throughout this entire space. It would be dangerous to explode while down here.
Maybe we'll have to set up some kind of timer on our way out and then blow the joint.
Is there anything we can use as a timer?
I mean, probably,
Fuse?
There's probably some electronics that you could use to rig something up, like release enough gas into a room and just put a light switch and eventually it will blow itself up. You break the bulb on it because it will spark.
All right, well, that's an escape plan. Do we want to keep searching?
Well, we still got at least one more room to go to.
Let's open her up.
All right. So the door opens and you find yourself looking into... It's that same kind of brutalist cement architecture style. It's a much more open space. It's the nicest of the rooms you've been in kind of thing. There's almost a lived-in quality to it. Or at least like a homey quality to it, I guess is maybe the right phrase. But also sitting opposite of the door, kind of in the center of the room in a chair, is Hairfelder looking at you. Ah, agents. Did you enjoy my zoo? Those were very expensive specimens you chose to dispose of. No matter, no matter. I understand it is your order's nature to burn and destroy rather than understand. This is what separates you from me. Come, agents. I believe we have things to discuss. Or do, as the phrasing might be more accurate. You came here to do a job. Why spend time acting like we're not here to do that? Alright, so combat?
Combat it is.
Alright. What are people's dexes again? I don't remember them off the top of my head.
8 for Jackal.
13, jet lag.
10, Jotun.
Right, I forgot Agent Jumper has a surprisingly high dex.
And how do we do dex? I have a 12.
Yeah, I just need to know the number. You don't need to roll it. All right. Agent Jetlag, you are up first because you have the highest dex. What you doing?
Oh boy.
So the door is open. You're kind of looking through this hatch at Felder. What's the plan? Probably hard for all four of you to shoot through this door, though, if you want to keep that in mind, I guess.
I think I'm going to move into the room he's in first.
All right.
I think that's a good idea.
All right, cool. You do that. Jumper, you're up next.
Can I basically blast him with a shotgun and then kind of jump out of the way?
Yeah, you can use a dodge, I guess, on a reactionary turn if you so wish. You're going to shoot at him?
Yeah.
All right. See that shot?
All right. Here, shotgun. I succeeded. 10 damage.
All right, so your shot hits good. It hits hard, and like the pellets kind of hit into him hard. You kind of see like it doesn't penetrate his skin all the way though, like almost like kind of hit into mud or something like that. Like it hit, but not all the way. I guess it didn't quite hit as hard as maybe you thought it should. And he's kind of like he's slowly rising out of his chair and was bewildered by this whole action. Jotun, you're up.
All right, so I'm sorry, Jumper just shot through the doorway, or did she enter the room?
She shot through the doorway.
Shot through the doorway, so she's standing in the doorway.
Yep.
So I can't comfortably shoot past her, or can
You
I?
can try and move past her if you want, but yeah, shooting past her will probably incur a penalty of some kind.
I'll move past her.
All right. Yeah, give me a. I'll let you move past. All right, cool. So you enter the room, and kind of. Felder's now standing. He's a little bit bewildered by this. Impudent girl. He's kind of like reaches out towards you, and you just kind of feel every bone in your body for a split second age Agent Jumper. Like just like suddenly like you feel like almost a year or two was ripped out of your body, kind of timeline wise, and you take 3 damage. Ignores armor and stuff like that.
All right. 3. Now that bypassed my.
Yep.
I figured it would because
Yep.
like something that would. Where do we track damage again?
It's on the left,
Left.
Yeah, I'm looking for it too.
up towards the top.
Oh, hit points. There we go.
Yep.
I'm at 7 out of 10.
Oh, right above. Okay, in the column. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I found it.
Agent Shackle, you're up.
Jumper still in the doorway.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna push past her as well and enter
All right,
the
cool.
room.
All right, so all 3 of you are in the room now. All right,
Mhm.
back to the chop. Jetlag, you're in the room now with Felder.
We're going to shoot just with the assault rifle, not the shotgun yet.
Roll that lethality, then see what happens. All right, still does 13 though, which is great.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah. All right, Agent Jumper, you're up again.
All right. I am going to. How big is the room? Like, is there enough room to like?
Oh yeah, no, totally. Yeah, it's like 20 by 20. It's a big room.
All right, so I'm going to dash in and almost kind of try to be inconspicuous. I'm like trying to make myself small.
Sure.
And dash around the wall.
All right.
Hopefully he'll ignore me and try to kill someone else.
All right. Agent Jotun, you're up.
I failed to shoot him with a shotgun.
Yeah.
97
Right.
out of 54.
Yep. Shot goes wide. Remember, this is an under barrel thing, so you'll have to reload if you want to use that again. He's going to kind of look at Agent Jetlag that just shot him and do the same kind of gesture thing at him. You're going to take 3. You're going to take 3 damage again. You're going to take 3 damage again. Like you feel like just like the life is being sucked out of you. Maybe your age again. Sorry, for a split second, it just hurts. Like in your joints, you feel this kind of weird blast ram into your body.
Sounds like Monday mornings.
Yep. Jackal, you're up.
Underbarrel shotgun hit. 8 damage.
All right, so he is still standing, I guess. Like that shot though blew a chunk of him off, and I guess like now that you're looking at him, the outside facade is this kind of thing you're looking at, but like inside of his body where there should be like organs and flesh and bone, it's just like almost like it's a wet looking dirt almost inside of his body kind of thing. He kind of looks at it, befuddled. Vel, agent. Vel. All right, Jetlag, you're up.
I will try the shotgun.
All right. It also
Success.
hits.
8 damage.
Yeah, so that last shot kind of blows him apart. And the dirt that was in kind of scatters across the room into various piles and stuff like that. And you find yourself now alone in this room. It's got similar kind of, like, now you're looking at it's got this kind of same circular stuff all over the walls and ceiling that was in not Marlene's cage. But more importantly, off to the left of where you came in is a large photo, or not a large photo, another painting of that same kind of mysterious black figure. And this is depicting him standing, or it standing in front of kind of rolling dunes of some kind.
Right.
So Hairfelder's been blown to pieces?
Yep.
I want to go check that painting out.
Check the painting out.
I want to look at the painting too and look at the background in more detail. Failed a search with 50 out of 44.
All right. You searching as well, Jumper?
Search roll. I'm affiliated with a 64 out of 41.
50 out of 74 success for Jotun.
What were you looking for exactly? I guess what were you looking for, Jotun?
Anything of note? I guess I could be examining that scary painting.
Yeah, we'll do the room actually. So, like, unlike the kind of runes you saw previously, these are like baked into the ground. Like, they're carved, they're etched, they're filled with like a resin of some sort. A lot of effort's been put into this. As you're looking around the room, more there's like splotches of blood, there's candles. Like, this is a ritual space of some kind. And while you're looking at this, the painting in front of Jumper and Jackal just kind of moves and points, kind of like doesn't come out of the picture, but it kind of points at something behind both of you and mouths behind you.
I'm going to turn around.
Both of you give me a dodge, I guess.
That was Jackal and Jumper?
Yep.
No gosh.
28 out of 30 success.
All right. So Jackal gets out of the way. Unfortunately, Agent Jumper does not.
I got a 4 out of 30.
I saw the search. No, you both dodge. My bad. And so a pistol shot goes wide into kind of the wall where you were standing just seconds ago, as you kind of see Felder, the dirt, the clay, whatever the right word is, that Felder was, that made Felder. It's kind of slowly reshaping itself back into a human, I guess. Like, it's pulling itself back together. So it's not detailed. It's still kind of like a globular man thing, but it's holding a gun and it fired at you. All right, back to the top of this. Jetlag, you're up.
Jetlag is actually just bewildered at what's happening and doesn't do anything.
No, yeah, sorry, I should have done this actually too. Everyone roll a sand check for this. Like, you just saw a painting, gesture, and a person reform themselves out of like dirt and sand on the ground.
9 out of 77 success. Apparently I'm okay with
46 out of 56 success.
Yeah.
Failure.
A 98 out of 38.
All right, if you fail, do me a 1d4.
Yeah, 36.
Yay! No one is kind of temporarily insane because of this. Awesome. All right, so we're back at the top though. So Jetlag, you were kind of shaken by this.
Yep.
Agent Jumper, that disorder you've picked up kind of kicks in for a second here. A lot of stuff is a lot of monsters have batted you around, and well, this is just too much. Things that are dead should stay dead, and well, Felder's not playing by them rules.
That as I just crawl across the ground, putting my back against like the wall.
Yeah.
Just trying to scramble away.
All right, Jotun, you're up.
Can I roll a chemistry check to see if I saw anything acidic in that other room? 36 out of 43 success.
Oh, definitely you saw something you could use to melt some shit with.
Okay, I run to get whatever would make the most sense.
All right, so you're going to kind of start doing that. As you are fleeing, Felder's going to take a shot at you with his pistol. That misses. It goes wide. No, it goes wide anyway, so you're fine. Jackal, you're up.
Assault rifle. 3 out of 70 success.
See that damage? All right, so you once again kind of managed to break him apart into stuff. Like, again, it's like he hits the ground. It's just kind of this pool of sand and dirt. that's down there. Agent Yoten, you're back in the other room. You're looking around. Give me a search.
Critical. 11 out
so
of 74.
You find it. Yeah, it's a nice big drum marked corrosive. Like, yeah, you grab that real quick and run back to the room with it.
I'm going to grab the pistol from the sand.
All right. All right, so you're grabbing the pistol from the sand?
I'm going to take that.
All right, so give me a strength check.
100%. 65 fumble.
So as you grab the pistol, you're trying to pull it out and you can't, and then kind of just somehow the pistol, like the sand is manipulating the pistol, so now it's aimed at you, and it shoots off at you.
Okay.
And that does hit. For 10. You have your armor on though, right?
I do. It's 5, right?
Yep.
5 damage.
Yep.
God. Oh.
All right. Agent Yoten, you're back in the room with this. Felder's starting to pull himself back together again, though, too. Like, you kind of see a leg starting to kind of reshape itself up in the air. All the kind of goop is moving towards the centralized location. What you gonna do?
Yeah, I start pouring said acid. Michael, what would it be?
Sulfuric acid.
Okay. I start pouring the sulfuric acid on the piles of Felder.
That's the trick, that they are dissolving, like, it's not trying very hard to get itself back together, though, at the same time. Like, it's kind of like seems to be accepting that's having acid poured on it, I guess. Like, it's just kind of like, okay, whatever. But yeah, you do manage to kind of dissolve all this stuff down, and again, you're more alone this time than last time. Like, there's kind of like pools of acid down on the floor that are bubbling away slowly. And everyone give me an alertness check.
17 success.
So, Jackal, you see that the figure in the painting is slowly kind of like clapping approval at you, and then it just kind of like looks around the room and then just walks out of the frame. Give me everyone who kind of succeeded on that. I think it's just Jackal. Give me a sand check.
64 out of 76. I succeeded.
You've seen some weird shit, but like a painting applauding your efforts and walking out of a frame, not the weirdest thing you've seen. So as you're looking at this, kind of the image of the desert kind of like slowly fades to black and kind of dissolves back to just being up normal looking canvas inside of a frame at that point. And yeah, you are now alone in this room.
Did anybody else just see that painting?
With that shadow man? I saw it. What about it?
Just never mind.
I guess that would probably prompt me to look at it again.
Yeah.
So I see that's just a canvas?
Yeah, just a canvas.
Shit, what happened?
Just, you were right about the one in the house. It definitely moved. I mean, it flat out walked out of that frame.
Oh, but the whole picture's gone.
It just faded or something.
Well, shit. We should have gotten a picture of that.
Swear to God, it was even like facetious or something, clapping. I wouldn't be surprised if that was Felder. Jesus.
Oh, great. Well, whatever this dirt is, it's as soon as I started pouring the acid on it, it stopped trying to reform. Wasn't exactly trying to stop me.
Give me an alertness on that, actually.
What?
Alertness, now that you've said that.
Can I make an occult roll on the runes?
Yeah.
I passed the alertness with 38 out of 52.
Yeah, so the bubbling has died down on... We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that fumble in a second. So the bubbling has died down, and there should have been like burn marks on the floor. There's just kind of pools of what look like dirty water, almost like not soapy water, but like clay water almost. Like it's more like you almost like diluted what was the dirt stuff as opposed to fully dissolving it. It's kind of, and you swear you see it congealing ever so slightly. Like it's not like as it was, but it's kind of slowly undissolving itself, maybe is the way of thinking of it. But on the opposite end of the room, Agent Jumper's looking around, and so there's an orb on
out of 50.
Yeah. So there's an orb on a table, and kind of you touch that, and give me a sand roll on that one.
Oh, poor Jumper. This is sad. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
I succeeded with the 56 out of 36.
All right, so for a split second, you see the shadow man, this dark man from the painting, standing there opposite of you on this from this orb. I think there's a hand on it. He kind of looks at you. He's too tall. He's like 8 feet tall. The human proportions are slightly wrong. Like his nails are impossibly white. His eyes are both red and white and black at the same time somehow. Like the blackness is definitely skin, but like also impossibly black to be skin kind of thing. He kind of looks at you, smiles, and goes and kind of shakes his head and goes, "Not time yet, Aubrey. Don't worry." And then so he's gone.
I take my hand off of it, take 3 steps back, and go, "Don't touch the door. He sees you through it. Don't touch it."
Who sees you through it?
The painting guy.
Is it in the orb?
Well, I don't know if he's in the orb, but he saw me through it. I touched it, and he saw me.
Okay.
Like, Jumper's just starting to paint now. He's back and forth, rocking a little bit.
The Felder blob is starting to remake itself, I think.
Well, so and opposite of the room, so opposite where you came in, there is another hatch at the end of the hall, at the end of this kind of room kind of thing. Like opposite of where you came in, there is one more of these kind of air sealing hatches.
Oh my god. We better look quick. And then I'm down to burn this place.
What are we doing about the Felder blob?
Somebody just want to keep an eye on him or something?
Did it say in any of the books? All right, let's
You think he's going to keep records on how to kill himself?
kept records on damn near everything else.
What about these sigils? I mean, we learned that they were keeping that other monster in place. I mean, can we destroy these on these walls and maybe it'll work to our favor?
I mean, a cult.
10 out of 10 success.
Well,
This seems to have more of a ritual vibe. Like this is more kind of a general purpose use of runes, I guess. Like the other ones had a like containment-y vibe to them. So yeah, this is the thing you could have learned outside, I guess, too. Like binding circles are a thing in a variety of cultures, especially when kind of speaking to mystical forces. Like that's a lowbrow enough thing that anyone kind of has a general idea of that. Like, but you could also use this room to like conduct other rituals, kind of thing. Like this is probably like based on what you just saw and the fact that this guy's capable of like forcibly aging you, apparently, or making you feel like you're aging. This is like his wizarding space, for lack of a better phrase.
Okay.
so do we also have any? So you said the symbols are like baked into the floor.
Yeah, they're like carved in. Like they're very destroying them would be hard, but there's also not inherently anything dangerous about the symbols.
You said there's another door, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Jumper wants out of this room, so I'm going to be going through the other door.
Well, I say we should check it out and just keep going while we're here.
Let's go.
Might as well.
So as you approach this door, a bunch of you have military science high enough that you'd already kind of you maybe subconsciously pick up on this. So you're looking at this door and you realize a couple things. The previous rooms you were in, the doors all kind of sequentially opened in so that you could kind of like you could push them in from the outside, if that makes any sense. This door is different. This one opens into the room you're in, which, given some of your military backgrounds, you would know kind of these are in kind of a submarine-style air sealing type of door that's designed so whatever's on the opposite side of that door. So the other side of that door is kind of protected from a leak, for lack of a reason. A submarine context, it's so as the submarine fills up, it can only flow one way. It'll hit the door and kind of shove it shut, and it will build up slowly on that side of that door, and it can't like bust through and swing the other way, hypothetically. Like it's a fault design, I guess, if that makes any sense. It would make sense, though, that you'd be able to kind of bust in these doors going through this place for like rescue operations, or like as you're building it, it would make sense to kind of have the doors swing out into the new space you were making or something like that. But this one is opposite of that. It opens in towards you.
Well, Jackal has military science pretty high.
That's why I gave it to you for free. Yeah, it's all high enough that you'd kind of know that.
Just point out to the group, well, I am noticing that this hatch here is kind of I never spent time on a submarine, but I've been in them, and this one is kind of like a or a reverse hatch. It's not opening into the next room. Not quite sure what that would indicate now, but I don't know. Maybe something's a little different about this room.
Does that mean it's designed to keep something on our side? I mean, in theory, if it opens in here, then I mean, on a submarine, the water would be applying pressure to the door. That's why it opens out, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like preventing something from flowing into the room. It's keeping it sealed. It's keeping it shut, sealed should something happen. So,
does that mean that this room could fill with water or something else terrible?
Exactly. So maybe there's something really precious in there.
You haven't tried it yet. The other doors haven't been locked yet.
All right, let's.
You want me to crank on it?
Be my guest.
Is it it's got like a wheel on it or just a
it's
lever?
Like all the doors are kind of like a air sealing, just kind of air sealing door. It's not a good story. Yeah, it's got the crank you kind of twist and then pull with.
All right, Jackal approaches the door and puts his weight into the lever.
All right. So it pops open. You hear the kind of the air sealing aspects of it unleash, and the kind of the foam around it that makes that seal pushes it out ever so slightly. You have to open it into you though. Like that's the big difference. So you're gonna do that.
I'm gonna open it a crack and pause and listen.
I think we have our guns at the ready, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Give me an alertness check on that.
Alertness check. I will gladly give you an alertness check.
82 out of 56 failure for Jackal.
1 out of 54 critical.
You got to investigate. Okay, there it goes. All right, so you all kind of have your ear pressed up against this thing. You're listening, Agent. The rest of you kind of you're not hearing much. It's very faint. It's an air seal kind of thing. Like it's barely open, so not a lot of sound getting through. But Jotun, you hear the very faint sounds of medical equipment again. Again, there's that heart rate monitor thing. Maybe some rebreather stuff. Like you hear just kind of medical equipment of some kind. What do you do?
Guys, there's a machine in there.
At least one. Yeah, you're hearing multiple kind of very faint, deliberate, maybe not like methodical, but like pattern sounds that are very industrial and very kind of medical industrial.
There's some kind of workings in there. I'm hearing does anyone else hear that? I'm hearing a rhythm. Not quite, but something's going on. It sounds machinated.
Well, you got better ears than I do.
Possibly.
I'm not surprised if there's medical equipment in there. I mean, been equipment like that in all these rooms.
True. Why is it sealed off?
Okay.
We're already in a secret underground bunker. Why is this one sealed off?
How about I open the door a little bit more? Is everyone okay with that?
Yep.
All right, Jackal pulls the door back.
All right, so you open the door all the way. So this room, it's weird. Like, so this room had kind of a lived-in feel. This room that you're now finding yourself in, though, it's almost like a bedroom or an actual room. Like where the house you were in that was kind of masking all of this was obviously a front. This has like a warm, homey feel to it. Give me a search.
5 out of 74 success.
Jackal rolled a 1 critical success.
Yeah. All right, so you're looking into this room, and you're seeing stuff. Like you see bookshelves, you see kind of directly across the room, set back against a wall, is a bed, a big bed, and surrounding this bed is just an army of medical equipment. And at the foot of the bed, there's this large, like 3-4 foot tall, antique-looking vase urn thing. And it's blank, except it's black, like it's jet black, kind of like almost soot black or something, except for a white design on the front, the face of it, I guess, facing you. And it is again that same kind of stick figure guy you saw back on the boat down in Louisiana.
Everyone see that urn at the back of the room?
How big is it?
Like 3-4 feet tall. You're not close enough. It's a deep room. You're easy 20 feet back kind of thing from it's again one of these big subterranean rooms you keep finding yourselves in. So you can't quite make all the details.
Is it on like a pedestal or just?
It's just kind of at the foot of the. It's big enough that a pedestal would be weird. Like it's a huge 3 foot, 4 foot tall kind of just thing. Like it's floor. It goes up above the kind of the footboard part of the bed kind of thing. The bed's this big ornate bed.
Is what was making the mechanical noise not obvious?
There's too many options, I guess. Like there's a bunch of screens, there's a bunch of medical. There's a lot of medical equipment in this room. Like it's trying to guess like what you've been hearing exactly aside from the heart rate monitor might not be sense. You see a variety of things like pumping things. You see like something going up and down. Might probably like a lung device of some kind. You see a variety of kind of IV bags strewn about. You see a variety of IV tubing that run around. Yeah, it's there's definitely something weird and medical going on right now. But more importantly, everyone give me a dodge roll.
Yeah, yikes.
Now, I hate to mention this, but I critically fumbled my awareness check. So it's going to affect me in my dodge.
Jacko,
Failure for jet lag.
I just critically fumbled.
Need for Jumper to roll that sweet dodge roll so we can see what happens.
I got a failure with a 56 out of 30.
All right, so because you got a critical on the search, Jotun, yours is going to kind of cancel out. What did you get critical on? Who got the critical for the search?
I got the critical on the...
the alertness.
Sorry. I got critical on alertness. Jackal got critical on search.
Right, so,
I passed the search, though.
All right, so Jackal, you dodge extra well. But so the rest of you kind of just like from above the door. So you didn't see when you came in because it was only above the doors you came in. Just this humanoid thing just kind of suddenly leans down directly into the door face. Like it basically kind of bends at the waist and swings down at you. And it's this kind of big, like, you know, those art dummies, so they're kind of like, they look like humans, but they're kind of like an abstracted basic version. They're very posable. It's like a big version of that, except it's got a slightly kind of not fully fleshed out version of Felder's face on it. And it just kind of like, it basically swoops down, like it's one fluid motion. It bends down and then launches itself through the door at all of you. If you succeeded at this, you dodge and get out of the way. If you fumbled, I got bad news. We'll get to that in a second. If you failed, you're knocked to the ground kind of as it hits the ground. It takes Jotun with it. It kind of lands in this pile. It just kind of like starts to reconstitute itself back up into this weird shape as it's kind of dragging you up with it. It stands 10 feet tall in this room, just kind of Jotun tucked under its arm like it's holding a doll or something. And it looks at all of you. This is pointless, agents. And we're back in combat.
Knew we weren't done. Die.
All right, so what? It's humanoid. It has Felder's face. Obviously, it is Felder. You know, to some
it's
degree.
like a fully fleshed in though. It's a rough version, kind of like if you were making a sculpture out of clay. You'd start off by kind of getting the rough details. You recognize it as Felder because you've now seen his face a bunch in the last like couple hours or so. But it's not like it's almost like it's unfinished. Like this, where the Felder you fought in this room was kind of this very well detailed, very humanoid. Like it totally passes a human until it was turning itself back from floor sand back into a human kind of thing. This thing's kind of more like a rough sculpture, I guess. Like it almost like it was interrupted in process. Like all the human proportions are there, but it's not detailed, I guess, yet.
Dexterity.
Sorry, one at a time. Someone asked about dexterity.
Does dexterity determine order again?
Yep. If memory serves, that's jet lag, Jumper, good old Felder, Jotun, and Jackal, if I remember correctly.
My dexterity is actually pretty low, despite being able to dodge this guy.
Yep. They're separate, yeah. Like dexterity and... What's yours out? What's your dex again, Jotun?
My dex is... it's 10, so 50 would be the roll, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so I just raw the dex numbers for this when it's setting up the order. All right, so Jetlag, you are up first. You're kind of lying on the ground. There's this thing. It's holding your comrade under kind of one arm like it's a doll almost or something. You're probably sick of this weird Felder sand monster bullshit. What you going to do?
I'd first like to get back on my feet.
All right, you're going to stand back up?
Yep.
All right, cool. That'll be that. Jumper, what are you doing?
I I want to head. I try to want to run around the room. I'm heading towards the equipment that the urn is tied to.
All right, so you're kind of trying to go into the room?
Yeah, I'm going to try to go room and go around, like the edges of the room.
All right, so you're not kind of like sneak around the edges of the room back towards the door, right?
Yeah, actually, I do want to kind of be stealthy about it.
All right. You can do that. 10-foot tall felder kind of... All right. Yeah, so 10-foot tall felder's kind of looking at all of you. It's going to kind of just...
Holy crap, I succeeded with the 3 out of 12.
Yeah, you made it to a wall. You're doing okay. All right, so Felder, kind of seeing that you're all spread out, is going to kind of like... So it's going to get extra weird now. So like you almost see Felder step out of itself, like it almost like extends, and then it kind of shrinks down. There's now 2 of these things in the room with you. The same level of detail. One's kind of now like locked on to Jotun. It's a little bit... It's human size again, I guess, but there's now 2 of these things in the room with you. And split off like that.
Oh my... He can photocopy himself.
All right, Jotun, you're up.
I'm being held by it, right?
Yeah, so you can roll a strength check to try and break away from it.
Okay, and can I... Is there any way I can roughly determine what my what my chances of breaking away from this supernatural being are? Like, it's
Nope.
unformed.
I'm not going to lie to you. It's an opposed roll, too, so...
Yikes. All right, I'll try to
Yeah.
get out of it. Strength, you said?
Yep.
Ah!
All right, so I kind of give you some context on this one. If you had succeeded, I'd have then also rolled strength, and it's blackjack rules. So whoever's number is higher at that point after you both succeed, that's who wins kind of thing. Try and go for higher at that point. So having a higher in those categories is useful because it gives you a larger even after success pool to go with. So, but yeah, no, so it's still kind of, it's got you in this like wrestling lock almost. You don't even remember it moving. It's kind of like flowed around and locked you up like that.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Sure.
So in that opposed roll, you said that it's blackjack whoever's closest without going over.
Yeah.
But it's closest to their own stat, right? So my strength is 50.
Yeah, so I guess like say Felder's strength was 80. As long as I beat a 50, or as long as I beat a 50, even if you were at your 50 threshold kind of thing, it still would hold on to you kind of thing. Like you both have to succeed though in the first case for it to matter.
Right. So if I rolled a 49,
yeah,
and he rolled, and his strength is 80, he rolled a 90, I still win because he failed.
You'd break free in that case. Or if I rolled like a 2, you'd still break free because you have a higher strength roll at that point too.
But if he rolled a 70, even though he is further from his threshold, he still wins because he beat my number overall.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
That's how the blackjack system works for the opposed rolls.
Okay.
But Jackal, you're up. You got 2 things in the room with you.
I want to attack the one holding Jotun. And I feel pretty confident in my shot, so I'll try to do a headshot on the sand figure holding.
Gonna call that shot?
Yep.
All right. Do you know what the modifier for that is?
The underbarrel shotgun seems too risky, so I'm going to use the assault rifle with the holographic scope.
All right.
And no, I don't know what a call shot does.
It's a -20 to that, but it does let you target something specifically.
The payoff being that the damage would be increased, right?
Or that you can or that to use the zombies from earlier. Those things actually have a surprisingly high health pool, but if you headshot them, they die instantly, no matter what damage you do.
And then if I fail it, is there any? It just misses.
A failure, it misses. A fumble could get interesting.
Yeah. All right, yeah, I'm gonna try to shoot. So it's -20.
Right. Yep.
I got a 42 42 success.
Nice, that hits.
Remember
to roll that lethality, yeah. Didn't get the lethality, it still did 12 damage though. So yeah. So your aim shot kind of busts this thing's head open, and it's surprised by this. Like the busted head definitely seemed to throw it some, and it does drop Jotun as part of this. And you still do a nice big chunk of damage to it on top of that. Very good. Back to the top though. Jetlag, you're up.
I would like to shoot with my bottom part of my assault rifle.
All right.
At the one that was... Well, he just dropped Jotun, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'll shoot at the same one that was already hit.
All right.
40 out of 56
connect.
success.
Let's see that damage.
2d10 for 18.
Nice. That's some big damage. Some nice and big damage. Yeah, so the one you've kind of laying into, it's definitely kind of like, it's definitely lost its shape. Like, it's still holding itself to a humanoid shape, but it's not doing great. Like, it's very obviously taken some damage. Agent Jumper, you're up. Remember, there's another one in the room that has not been hit at all yet, kind of thing. It's away from this one.
Okay, so the machinery hooked to the urn. Does it look like it has like a power source, like a generator or a breaker box or anything?
So you're going to the room right now to go in there?
Yeah. I was sneaking into the room to try to get closer to that machine working stuff.
All right, so cool. Well, I'll let you move and search, I guess, because like you were sneaking along the wall to kind of avoid detection, and you're trying to not draw attention to yourself.
And a 31 out of 45 with a success there.
Yeah. So you kind of you whip into the room and you see like what you saw previously was weird. This is extra weird. So now you're realizing that a bunch of the kind of tubing that's coming out of this medical stuff actually runs down and into this urn. Like there's a bunch of IV lines. Some of them appear to be full of, your guess would be blood, but kind of at quick glance, you can't quite tell. They're running down and kind of out and surrounding, and there's a variety of like plugs on the side of this thing. Like this medical equipment is somehow, in some weird way, definitely attached to this urn. But more importantly, so now it's the Felder's turn. So Felder 2, the one that kind of sped off, is kind of running into the room after Jumper. The other Felder's going to look at Jotun now. It's going to try and grab you again, but kind of like a pinning you to the ground type of situation. Which means it's time for more strength.
Does he roll first, or do I?
Yep.
Which?
All right, so it kind of it rolls first. So it slams its hands into the ground next to it and kind of splinters off into sand. It does miss, though. You got lucky on that one. It's now your turn. You're on the ground. This thing kind of missed at you. What you going to do?
Get the hell away from it.
All right, so you're going to move and kind of get up and away from it?
Yes.
All right, cool.
So I'm going to...
Jackal, you're up.
I'm going to scramble towards the other two. Are the other two near each other? Jackal and Jetlag?
Sure. Doesn't really matter position-wise.
I'll scramble toward them.
All right, Jackal, you're up.
All right, I'm shooting my underbarrel shotgun
All right.
at the one closest to us.
All right.
I got an 11
Nice.
critical of 70.
See that big damage.
26 damage.
All right, so that one just... It's wasted. It explodes kind of in a blast of dust as the shotgun pelts rip through it, reminding you have blown these things up before, and they do kind of seem to respawn after a little bit, kind of pull themselves back together. But dumping a bunch of acid on it did seem to slow that process down. There's more acid in that container, though, if you want to go use that. But back to the top, Jetlag, you're up. You've got this one that's following Jumper. You've got the one you kind of managed to waste back into incorporeal sand. What you going to do?
We're going to go for the one following Jumper.
All right, so you're going to pursue it? What you going to do? You're going to shoot at it? You're going to try and tackle it? What's the plan?
I think we're going to try to shoot again. Tackling didn't go so well last time I tried.
Sure.
70 failure.
Shot goes wide, unfortunately. All right, Jumper, you're in the room. You hear this thing kind of running up behind you. You see the urn. You see this bed. There's a bunch of tubes that go into it. What you going to do?
Am I like near enough to grab it, or the tubing from the urn, or am I too far away?
You could definitely move and grab it, I guess. Like, yeah, you could definitely do that. That's definitely a thing you can do.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna rush forward and basically try to yank the tubing that's into the urn out.
All right, so yeah, give me a strength at -20 for that.
Oh man, yeah. So that's a whopping failure with an 80 out of 30.
All right, so also now give me a sand check.
Thing I'm great at. All right, sand check. Here you come. Got to get under a 36. I got another 83. That's a failure.
All right. So it's only going to be 1 point of sand damage. But so as you get close to this thing, you kind of like, you're grabbing it, you're trying to grab these tubes, and you look down into this thing, and you just kind of see that it's like inside is this kind of mass of maybe not boiling, but like ever like how dough inside of a machine gets churned about. It's kind of doing that. It's this weird mix of what looks like silt or clay or dirt of some kind and blood just kind of rolling inside of this thing. And the smell is just horrible. It smells like decay and blood and just something else you just can't quite put your finger on kind of thing. Like it's everything about this is off-putting. Give me a check in what's it called again? Sorry, helplessness too. Just kind of it's an overwhelming moment of what the hell is going on right now.
Okay.
Yep. And our sand friend's gonna kind of run up behind you and try and grab you. Let's see if it's that done first. All right, so it misses. Maybe it's you ducking down to try and pull the things out of this. Just kind of like it whiffs at the air around you. Jotun, you're up.
I'm gonna shoot at the thing that's if I can safely do so, I'm gonna shoot at the thing that's trying to grab her.
Yep.
All right, so
shot misses. It's a bit of a long shot at this point.
Yep,
Makes
72
sense.
out of 54.
Yeah. Jackal, you're up.
I would like to grab the can of acid.
All right, you're on grab and dump.
Grab and dump, if that can be
cool.
a full move, yeah.
Yeah. I'll let it be a full move. Jetlag, we're back to you.
Shooting the one by jumper.
All right.
56 success.
See that lethality. Does some damage, like takes some chunks out of its sandy mass, which makes sense. It doesn't go down as hard as you'd hope it would, though. But yeah, it definitely did some damage. All right, Jumper, what's up? What's the plan?
Oh shit. I mean, the tubes aren't coming out like I hoped.
So you only had I only put that negative on you because you ran up to it, kind of thing, just to make it so it's technically a double action one turn, but kind of to move it along. I kind of made it one thing. So now you're standing there, you've already had like hands on it, kind of thing. I figured you kind of slid into it and tried to grab the stuff out of it, hence the negative.
All right, well I'll try it again before I go to my next attempt.
All right,
I'm gonna try something else, but
you're just pulling the tubes on it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pull the tubes out. Got a 79 out of 50.
They're really attached to this thing. It's sturdy. It's sturdier than makes any type of sense. Like running IV tubes into an antique vase shouldn't be kind of this connected. All right, just gonna try and just gonna haul off and trying to hit you with the sand thing. All right, it misses. Damn, this thing's having a hard time making anything connect right now. All right, Jotun, you're up.
Let's give it another shot. Also failure.
Jackal.
Run into the room with the others and shoot at the other sand person.
All right.
10 out of 70 success.
See that lethality.
Not make that. Normal damage, 8.
All right, so it's not looking good. It's taken a lot of damage. It's something kind of lost its details. It's kind of almost more like a sand mound in the vague shape of a human than it was kind of 30 seconds ago. Back to the top. Jetlag.
Hopefully going to try to finish it off. 39 success.
See that lethality.
Does not quite get the lethality.
But it's enough to kind of fully return this thing back to being a pile. And you, as best you can tell, you're kind of alone as far as you know. I'm assuming you're going to kind of acid wash this thing real quick, like you've done the other stuff.
Yeah, let's assume I dragged the can into here and
spilled
what was left of the acid onto it.
Yeah, definitely a good call.